Ron Nehring, California chairman for Ted Cruz. Good morning to you. And the question, did Ted Cruz wait too long to get this tough with Donald Trump?
Oh, I think that Ted Cruz has been taking it to Donald Trump for some time. If you've been watching, the debates here, what I think is really extraordinary about Donald Trump is that he continues to just get weirder and weirder with the things that he says, the closer that Ted Cruz comes to him in terms of, national polls and the like. Look, Ted Cruz is going to win in the state of Texas. We're going to do extremely well on Super Tuesday, and we're looking forward to that. But Donald Trump, he knows that he's in big trouble. And, even in the debate a couple nights ago, he came out and said on this very important issue of this fraud allegation against him involving Trump University that he's, quote, won most of the lawsuits, around this, which is just not true. The Washington Post is reporting today. So I think you see an increasingly erratic Donald Trump as more and more pressure comes onto him, and as he looks down at a big loss coming in the state of Texas, which has 155 delegates as we go into the national convention.
Well, it seems that the opening argument from Ted Cruz was that Donald Trump was not a conservative, and that hasn't, according to the voting returns, worked in a lot of the Republican primaries. Now the argument from your campaign seems to be Donald Trump's not a good person. Will that be more effective?
Well, I think that every candidate is going to be evaluated based on a number of different factors, not only in terms of their record, in terms of their philosophy. That's important. And, of course, we all know that Donald Trump has been a Manhattan liberal for the vast majority of his life, but also in terms of, their narrative, their story. What have they done with their life as well? And where you see this issue of the now coming up is, we have to have our candidates who are vetted. This is what a primary process does. The primary process makes sure that our candidates are vetted for the general election. And by Donald Trump refusing to release his taxes under this, very weak excuse that, he's being audited for, every tax return since, 1492, is, very weak and puts the Republican Party in a bad position, because our voters deserve to know everything about our candidates that could be relevant in a general election. Donald Trump is hiding. He should stop hiding. He should be forthcoming and let the Republican voters in our primaries make a decision based on all of the facts, not only the facts which Donald Trump wants to share with people.
If Donald Trump is not going to achieve 51% of delegates anytime soon, is Ted Cruz committed to go all the way to the convention, even if he's trailing?
Well, we're running for president of the United States, and this is a 19-week process. We're only 5 weeks into that process. This is a long way to go. One thing which has been a hallmark of the Cruz campaign is that we've built the campaign to go from beginning to end. I'm the California chairman of the campaign. Our state votes last on June the 7th, and we've been organizing for months. So we've been organizing across all 50 states so that we have the ability to go all the way to the end, because that could be what it takes in order to win this nomination, and every voter in America deserves to have their voice heard.
Ron Nehring, a perspective from inside the Cruz campaign. I appreciate your time this morning.